from timcast.com. Breaking. Florida Senate passes legislation ending Disney's tax privilege, self-governing power, and special exemption status. So Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is like, they can just build a nuclear power plant on their own. Like, they're able to do certain things that nobody else is able to do. So I think they're right to be looking at this and reevaluating it. I want to say the most important element of this story is that Disney decided to get woke. They thought they could push push all of us around and say, you know what? The activist employees are complaining about wokeness. Let's just give them what they want. Well, now they are seeing that you reap what you sow. You want to come out and you think that you can just adopt ideology. Say you will be political. Disney was outright like, we're going to defeat this bill. Florida said, okay, you want to get political? We'll take away your special status. Now we're seeing, as of today, their stock has dropped by 5.56%. On top of that, their stock was already hurting this year. It's good to see real economic consequences, right? Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, right, Disney? I want to see more companies who want to act a fool and play dirty games see actual accountability.
My thoughts were, yes, you break up that big corporate, monopoly, break it up. That's why we have antitrust laws. That's why we have a government in place, is to protect us from these insidious things like corporate people, whatever. But Tom, when you came in here, you made a great point that how far is this going to go? How much authority should a government have to stop the private sector?
Well, look, Disney is the leadership of Disney is abusing shareholder dollars by spending them improperly to target or promote talking about sexual activities with young school children. And if you're a shareholder, you ought to be saying, why aren't you producing more and better product and increasing shareholder value? Go ahead.
Just real quick, I mean, on that point, should the shareholders sue for a violation of the company's fiduciary duty?
Well, I ain't no lawyer, but the people have been sued for less, that's for sure, in terms of stock fights and things like that and shareholder lawsuits. But secondly, though, you've got this special position that Disney has in Florida. It's been around since 1967, and they're talking about taking away some governance that benefits Disney corporate-wise and arguably the state. And so the concern I have is this being considered for reasons that are neutrally applied, meaning it's a bad idea to provide corporations these special tax incentives and such, or is it a political payback? And if it's the second one, the danger is that, look, the left almost always controls the levers of power. So if the new standard is that if corporations break free and start engaged in politics the way Disney has, either on the left or the right, is it going to be a free-for-all in terms of punishing corporations through government action? Let's say in California, they go after a defense contractor, or in New York, they go after a gun manufacturer. Well, in fact, that's actually what's happening.
Yeah, they're already talking about doing that without any of this being.
Right. It's already happening.
Right.
Yeah. And it's been consistently people who oppose the cult wokeness fringe ideology who have been getting attacked.
What's happening in New York?
This is like the first time Republicans are like, okay, you know what? We're not going to tolerate you getting into this.
And to be clear, I'm not saying I oppose what Florida did. I'm just highlighting, well, let's be aware of what's happening out there in the culture, and that corporations, when they engage in politics, there's going to be payback now and again. And, Florida is making a policy decision. They got this major corporation that's decided to take the benefits they're getting from the public and target school children. Mm-hmm. And so that's the reaction you're going to get from the elected representatives of the public. Well, you're not going to use these special benefits anymore on behalf of an agenda that we didn't sign up for when we gave them to you to begin with.
I don't think it's as bad as you might be making it seem, whether it's intention or not. This is Disney, who has no business in education policy, deciding to come out because a fringe faction of activists at their company complained. They ignore the activists at the company who are like, we don't want to be involved in this. If a gun company in New York said, we're going to lobby for gun rights, I'd be like, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. If Disney said, we're going to lobby for entertainment rights and special privileges, I'd be like, okay, well, that makes sense. If a gun manufacturer came out and said, we're going to start dumping money into getting religion put in schools, I'd be like, they shouldn't be doing that. If they started, if they said our mission is to defeat this, I'd be like, you're a gun company. What are you doing? Disney's doing exactly that. They have no business. They're doing it for PR reasons. Well, if they want to be involved in politics as a political organization, they got to play by the rules, and this is what happens.
I'll tell you what, man. Disney has been attempting to educate kids since the inception of the company. They make cartoons for little kids, and they put subliminal ideas like you see all sorts of crazy occult stuff in it. If you really look for it, and there's tons of YouTube videos about it, conspiracy or whatever. But that's the basic indoctrination of children is cartoons on TV, and that's Disney's specialty. So I'm not really even so. I mean, Walt was a great man, but when he died, so in my opinion, so did that company, man. It's no longer. They should have to change the name or something. That's abusive.